Welcome to your third grade math bootcamp explainer. Look, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the massive jump in expectations this year, honestly, you are not alone. It's a lot. But we're going to break down all the key concepts, from multiplication and division to fractions and geometry, into really simple, bite-sized missions. By the end of this, your mental math toolbox is going to be fully packed and totally ready for that big quiz.
Here's our study checklist for today. First, we're talking about the third grade jump. Then, we'll master multiplication and division, understand fractions as numbers, tackle geometry and area, load up on some mental math secret weapons, and finally, make sure you are officially quiz ready.
Okay, part 1, the third grade jump. So, why does math feel so wildly different this year? Well, in earlier grades, you were figuring out how to add and multiply single digits. But right now, you're actually rewiring your brain to just know those facts purely from memory. And there's a really good reason for it. You've got to free up your brain power for the hard stuff, like those super tricky word problems. So, give yourself some grace and be patient. Moving into part 2, mastering multiplication and division. This is where memory meets strategy.
A massive goal this year is wrapping your head around what these operations actually mean. Multiplication, that's really just finding an unknown product. And division is finding an unknown piece in equal-sized groups. You're going to be using arrays, which, by the way, are just organized rows and columns, to really visualize how this all works.
And here is your magic benchmark number for the entire year, 100. By the end of third grade, you need to fluently multiply and divide within 100. That means knowing from memory all the products of two one-digit numbers. So when you know 8 times 5 is 40, your brain should instantly go, oh, so 40 divided by 5 must be 8. Now you might see some big vocabulary on the quiz, like the distributive property. Do not let that scare you. It's literally just your secret strategy to break incredibly hard problems into friendly, easy numbers. Say 8 times 7 feels too hard. Well, you know that 7 is just 5 plus 2, right? So you multiply 8 by 5 to get 40, you multiply 8 by 2 to get 16, and then just add 40 plus 16. Boom, 56. It's a totally brilliant strategy that's going to set you up for those massive multi-digit problems next year.
All right, part 3, understanding fractions as numbers. Time to move beyond just parts of a shape.
Okay, I have a classic trick question for you. One that honestly caught me off guard at first. Ready? John ran 3/6 of a mile. Charlie ran 1/2 of a mile. Who went further? Take a split second to really think about what those numbers actually mean.
Guess what? It's a tie. Crazy, right? 3/6 and 1/2 take up the exact same amount of space. They name the exact same physical place on a number line, and it doesn't matter at all which numbers you use as the numerator on top and the denominator on the bottom. We call these equivalent fractions.
Once you start looking closely at equivalent fractions, you'll spot this awesome cheat code pattern. Think about how 1/2 is the exact same amount as 2/4, which is the same as 3/6. The actual space being taken up doesn't change one bit. It's literally just the number of pieces the whole is sliced into. And here is a super vital concept. A fraction is actually just division. That's it. 3/4 is simply 3 divided by 4. Think about it. If 4 friends want to share 3 whole pizzas equally, the math is just 3 divided by 4. That little fraction bar, it's basically just a division symbol in disguise.
Section 4, Geometry and Area. Let's talk shapes and measurements. You definitely want to make sure you don't mix these up on test day. Two-dimensional shapes are completely flat, like drawing a rectangle or a hexagon on a piece of paper. On the flip side, three-dimensional shapes are solid objects. They have actual volume. Think of the cubes, spheres, and cylinders you interact with in the real world every single day.
Now, when the priz asks you to find the area, I want you to picture tiling a floor. You're just finding the total number of same-size square units it takes to cover the entire space inside a 2D shape, with 0 gaps and 0 overlaps. And here's a cool connection back to multiplication. Finding the area of a rectangle is exactly the same as just multiplying its side lengths together.
Here's an amazing quiz trick for those weird, L-shaped or tricky composite figures. You can decompose, or basically just break apart the figure into simple, non-overlapping rectangles. You find the area of each smaller rectangle by multiplying the sides, and then just add those areas together to get your grand total. Easy.
Part 5, Mental Math Secret Weapons. Let's speed up those calculations. You'll want to memorize this list of rapid-fire power-ups. Things like skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. That builds your entire foundation for multiplication.
Then you've got doubling and halving to simplify complex problems. And making friendly tens and hundreds? That allows you to add and subtract in your head with incredible speed. Having these strategies ready to go gives you the independence to just flexibly solve problems on the fly.
Take the compensation strategy, for example. It is absolutely brilliant for mental math. If you see a problem like 99 plus 15, please do not try to carry the ones in your head. Instead, just round 99 up to a friendly number, like 100. Add the 15 to get 115. Then, because you added one too many at the very start, you just adjust by subtracting that extra one at the end. 115 minus 1 is 114. See? So much faster.
And please don't forget mental estimation. Before you even try to solve a problem, round the numbers to get a rough ballpark idea of what the answer should be. Once you get your final answer, always hit pause and ask yourself, wait, is this reasonable? Like, if you add two two-digit numbers and somehow get a four-digit answer, your estimation skills will immediately sound the alarm that something went wrong.
And finally, Section 6. You are quiz ready. Time to trust your toolbox.
Listen, you've got all the mental math weapons and conceptual understanding you could possibly need. You aren't just memorizing random procedures anymore. You actually understand why the math works. So trust your toolbox. Rely on your strategies. Check your work to make sure it's reasonable, and walk into that quiz feeling totally confident. You've got this.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Mathematics isn't just about passing quizzes in a classroom. It's a fundamental tool we use to navigate the real world, whether that's sharing a pizza fairly with your friends or figuring out the area of your bedroom for a new rug. So, how will you use your new math powers to solve a real-world problem today? Good luck on your quiz!